What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news. My apologies for not uploading on Wednesday, but we have a upload today for Thursday, and I'm either going to upload the third video of the week on Friday or Saturday. I'm unsure. And that video, it's a toss-up between a news video and the September Air Jordan release dates. Just depends on the news that's available at that time. And now, before I give you a breakdown of some of the highlights in this video, I just want to say thanks again for all the likes. You guys did great on the last video. So just wanted to give you guys a shout out on that. If we could do the same on this video, it's greatly appreciated. Now, as for some of the highlights, we have a release date for the Air Jordan 1 Pine Green. We have a first look at the Air Jordan 7 Black Patent Leather, some new images of the Travis Scott Air Jordan 6, and a lot more from Jordan Brand. We also have some highlights from Nike, which is the Lebron 17. And then we have a few things from Adidas and an update on the upcoming Puma Nipsey Hussle collection. And now, without wasting too much more of your time, let's jump into the news. Recently, Puma officially unveiled the Nipsey Hussle collection, also known as TMC. Now, reading from their press release, the 19-piece collection features Puma's signature tracksuits, including a marathon-themed MCS tracksuit. It also includes two different colorways of the iconic Puma California. The apparel from the collection was designed using measurements of Nipsey's body. All pieces include various overlays and imagery signature to Puma and Nipsey, including elements created to represent California and Nipsey's "The Marathon Continues" messaging throughout. The debut collection between the two brands was designed in full with Nipsey ahead of his untimely passing earlier this year. Puma will be donating 100% of the net proceeds from the sales of the collection to the Neighborhood Nip Foundation. The entire collection is set to release on September 15th. With this press release, they didn't unveil any retail prices, nor did they announce any specific retailers, but one retailer that appears to have the entire collection and will be available on September 5th is Shoe Palace. Moving on to Adidas, and we have release details for the Adidas Ultra Boost 1.0 Washington Huskies. Now, the pair features purple and white across the prime knit upper, and then we have gold on the three stripes branding and heel counter. Other details includes a white boost midsole and black rubber outsole. Now, as for the release date, they drop on August 31st, and they will be available exclusively to Adidas Creators Club members. Now, if you're interested in purchasing and you're not a member, I'll have a link in the description below, which will take you to Adidas and you can get signed up. Really quick update on the Adidas Yeezy Boost 700 V2 Inertia. Yesterday, Adidas sent out a press release which confirmed that the release will take place on September 7th. Now, you will be able to grab these at select retailers, Yeezy Supply, and Adidas.com. Retail price is set at $300. John Elliott and LeBron James are back with another collaboration, and it'll be on the Nike LeBron icon. This time it comes dressed in parachute beige. Now, I believe this is the third colorway that released this year, possibly two, I'm not sure offhand, but this pair comes dressed in parachute beige, desert ore, cell, and phantom. Now, they feature a translucent upper with embroidery that resembles a cord. Following, we have full-length Air Max tooling, which is taken from the LeBron 8, and a translucent outsole. Now, for the release details, this pair will drop on September 3rd. Retail price is set at $250. Now, at the time of shooting this, that release date so far is confirmed for Soulbox, so I'm not sure about a stateside release. More than likely, it'll be on the same day, if not shortly after. And of course, I'll make sure to update you guys once I learn additional details. Part of the upcoming Nike China Hoop Dreams pack is the Nike Air Force 1 High. Now, as you can see, this pair comes in a mismatched theme. We have white leather across the upper, and then the left shoe features red across the midsole, ankle strap, heel, and other small branding throughout. And then the right shoe has green. Other details includes a special graphic on the insoles, as well as tongue branding that is inspired by the hoop culture in China during the early 2000s. Now, at the time of shooting this pair is set to release in China on August 31st. Retail price will be $110. The whole thing with this China Hoop Dreams pack, it isn't confirmed as of yet if any of the pairs will drop in the States. Although I think it's possible that a stateside release could happen for this pair and the other models, it just isn't known at the time of shooting. Easily our best look yet, we have a look at a new colorway of the Nike Lebron 17. Now this pair comes dressed in simply black and white, and they come constructed with a mixture of leather and battle knit throughout, and what seems to be a popular theme as of late, we have a reversed jewel swoosh. Then we have leather across the tongue and an icy blue translucent outsole. Now, some of the other smaller details on the shoe, also these small details connect back to different models from his signature line. For example, the right tongue features the lion logo from the LeBron 8, 6 written in the traditional signature cursive, Dunkman and L23 logo. The left tongue features I'm King, which is taken from the LeBron 16, ACG pyramid, and LJ crown. Now, besides this detailed look, we don't really have much information. A release is expected to take place during October, however, it could take place before that, but you can expect LeBron to be wearing this at the start of the 2019-2020 NBA season. And as of now, we don't have a retail price. On Friday and Saturday, we saw the undefeated Nike Kobe 4 Protro collection release, and the last pair from the collection represents Black Mamba, aka Kobe Bryant. Now the pair features black across the upper, along with iridescent and scales, which will mimic the venomous snake. In addition, we have the undefeated logo on the tongue, insole and lace tips. Kobe Bryant's logo will be on the right tongue, and then on the heel we have both Kobe Bryant's numbers of 8 and 24. Now, I'm not sure why Nike decided to break the pack up, but one thing I thought to myself is Kobe Bryant should be represented in this pack, even though he is no longer in the NBA. And the good news is that's what they're going to do. So a release date is set for September 13th, and retail price will be $180. You'll be able to grab these on Nike sneakers. Now, I'm not sure if many still like the Nike Air Foamposite 1 or Pro. However, we have information on an upcoming Foamposite Pro that will release during 2020. Now, the image used is a Photoshop just shown to represent what the release could look like, which is done by Z Sneakerhead Z, and the info comes from Soulheed on Feet, so shout out to both of them. And it's very possible that this pair won't feature leather across the upper, it could be nubuck, or even the color placement could be changed around. However, what we can confirm as of now, we have a Nike Air Foamposite Pro releasing in white, black, and university red. Honestly, to me, this sounds like something that has already released before, but I'm sure Nike has made a ton of changes, and it's possible that this could be a themed release. We'll just have to wait and see. But we already have the release information, and they're going to drop on March 5th. Now, of course, that date could be pushed forward or back, and the retail price will be $230. On to Jordan Brand, and quick update on the Air Jordan 4 FIBA. This will be the last pair releasing part of the collection, and now we have official images. But in a recent video, I went over the shoes, so I'm going to skip that, and I'm just going to point out two of the highlights on this pair. And instead of having mesh on the panels and the lower part of the tongue, we have symbols that represent different flags, and then on the inside of the tongue we have "For the Love of the Game." Wrapping things up, the Air Jordan 4 FIBA will officially release on September 7th, and retail price will be $200. Another quick update in this video, I wanted to briefly talk about the Air Jordan 1 Obsidian that is releasing this Saturday, August 31st. Now, by the time this video goes live, I'm not sure if there's going to be any retailers that are still doing raffles. Most of you that have entered the raffle will probably know tomorrow, if not by Friday. Just depends where you shop at. And some of you guys may already know this, but the launch locator maps that you see from Foot Locker, Foot Action, etc., they showed that pretty much every store was getting this pair, which leads a lot of people thinking that they're going to double and triple up on this shoe. Now, that may be likely for some, but for the masses, that's not going to be the case. Now, there is a lot of locations getting them, but the allocation is not as big as some of the prior releases. Now, there is a somewhat exception to this, and that would be major cities. So the major cities will get more than a smaller city, and that's usually how it is. However, they still won't get their usual stock of this shoe. And what I mean this shoe is the Air Jordan 1. So I wouldn't say it's limited. I wouldn't say it's a GR. Somewhere in between probably is about right. Also, there is quite a bit of hype for this shoe. I know a lot of people want them, including myself, so it may be a bit harder to get if you miss out on the raffle. Now, I already mentioned the release date. I'm sure you guys already know it, and if you don't know, the retail price is $160. Coming soon is 2 Air Jordan 10s that will feature camouflage throughout. Now, the first one is set to release this Saturday alongside the Air Jordan 1 Obsidian, and many were calling this pair Desert Camo. However, it turns out that this pair is actually known as the Woodland Camo. So it features a little bit of a darker shade of brown. Pretty much the images that I've been sharing of the Desert Camo, we've recently learned that it's the Woodland Camo, and this was announced by Jordan Brand 2 days ago. So this pair is releasing on August 31st, like I just mentioned, and the retail price is $190. A day after Jordan Brand let everybody know the true nickname of the shoe, they officially unveiled the Air Jordan 10 Desert Camo. Not only is this a grand unveiling, but it's a first look at the shoes. So this pair features a lighter shade of brown, and then we have a mixture of a darker shade of brown and green throughout, making up the camouflage detailing. Other details includes black throughout, including the tongue, eye stays, laces, midsole, and most of the outsole. And then the outsole is hinted with dusted clay. Now, as for the release details, we have a set date for September 5th, and retail price will be $190. We got a first look at an upcoming Air Jordan 7, and this is a women's exclusive, and I'm not gonna lie, I do not like this pair whatsoever. My apologies if you're a fan of them. I'm just briefly saying what I feel on them, but moving forward from all that, we're going to get into the details. Now, as you can see, they're highlighted with black patent leather across the upper, and then we have both orange and purple detailing on the tongue branding, Jumpman on the ankle, midsole, and heel. Now, the last detail is a little bit of yellow, and that is placed on the outsole. Like I mentioned, this is a women's release, and the release date is somewhat fitting for the shoe because it'll drop on October 31st, which is Halloween, and the retail price will be $190. After a brief viewing of the Air Jordan 1 High Zoom R2T, we have additional photos. Now, this particular colorway is rumored to be part of the upcoming Fearless collection, although that isn't confirmed at the time of shooting this. And on the surface of things, we have black throughout. However, once the light hits it, we have 3M reflective, which definitely makes this shoe pop. Now, we have perforations running across the side of the tongue, and instead of Nike Air branding on the tongue label, we have Zoom Air. A small tab on the side also reads Zoom. Zoom Air branding will be on the insoles, and by the heel we have a string of numbers and letters, and I can't make out all of it, but the last three, it appears to be AZ1, and I'm going to assume that's Air Zoom 1 representing the Air Jordan 1. And then the last detail is a translucent outsole. As far as a release date goes, we don't have a set date, but they are expected to drop during December, and the retail price will be $175. It seems like once a week I'm showcasing new images of the upcoming Travis Scott Air Jordan 6, and we have a new set, and this time it comes from Stadium Goods. Now, a release is expected to take place during September, but if you want to get them early, which I don't suggest, you can do so at Stadium Goods. They only have a size 9.5, and the reason why I don't suggest you getting them early is because they cost $2,325. Now, if you do miss out on this shoe at retail, you'll still be paying a lot more than the standard retail price, which is $250 for this pair. However, I don't think it'll be close to the $2,300. Over time, yes, but not right now. However, you are paying to have them early. Also, I've been hearing a lot of people talk about a potential shock drop. I haven't heard anything, and I haven't seen anything concrete. I asked around and everybody is keeping hush hush on this. That's usually the deal on shock drops. And more than likely, by the time I find out, it'll already be too late. The shoes will already be sold out. But if I forgot to mention, the release date for now is set for September 14th. And I might make a video dedicated just to this release. And that video would be a how to buy, where to buy, stuff like that. Last up for today, we have a release date for the Air Jordan 1 Pine Green. Now, some of you may remember that in 2018, Jordan brand released an Air Jordan 1 Pine Green. However, there is some differences. We don't know what the differences are as of yet because we have yet to see any photos. This picture on the screen is a Photoshop representation of what's to come. Now, what we do know on this release is that they'll come dressed in black, white, pine green, and gym red. With this image, along with the color description, it has many people calling the shoe the Gucci ones. Now, I don't know what the actual inspiration will be for this release, but here are some things I can tell you. The release date, which is February 29th, 2020, and the retail price, which is $160. One other thing I could say about this release is I'm not sure if there's going to be two releases of the Pine Green Air Jordan 1 in 2020, or if this is the actual pair. And if this is the actual pair that I was told about, and when I say actual pair, I mean the color description of black, white, pine green, and gym red, is that they won't feature leather. That's all I could say as of now. I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of comments. I'm going to wait until this info is concrete and then throw that in the next video. But for those that did watch and hanged around towards the end, you got a little bit of additional information. And that recaps the news. Like always, we post it first on SneakerFiles.com and then we take it to YouTube. Like always, I appreciate you guys watching this video. A few things I wanted to touch on was briefly the yellow toe Air Jordan 1. Now, I'm thinking on including more information on this shoe as far as it not releasing in another video. I've been getting a ton of questions and people asking if I'm calling out certain people, and that's not the case. That's not what I'm meaning to do whatsoever. I'm just reporting what I'm being told. So if anybody that watched that video that is upset on what I said, I do apologize for that. Definitely was not my intention. Another question I wanted to ask, and if you're listening this far, then you got a little bit more information. I know of some upcoming colorways of the Jordan Dub Zero. I know that isn't a shoe that everybody likes, but there is some people that connect with them from their childhood. Now, those colorways are set to release in 2020. So if you want to hear on those colorways in an upcoming video, let me know in the comments below. Also, the Nike Air Penny 5 is returning once again in 2020. A few new colorways and one colorway that had already released. But if you want to hear more on those two, let me know in the comments below. Now, before I end this video, greatly appreciate a thumbs up if you haven't done so already. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe by hitting the red button below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.